If you're struggling with a slice, then you're in the right spot, because in today's video, I'm going to take you through a step-by-step guide on how you can fix your slice for good. Now, we all know how destructive that slice shot can get. It can really ruin a scorecard. But here's the thing, the more you work up the bag, the bigger that slice gets. And the reason for that is because A, the shaft gets longer, the club head speed increases, and B, the amount of side spin that we can produce also increases, producing more curvature. Now, in its most simple basic form, what is a slice? A slice is where the club face is presented at impact excessively open to where the path is going. So let's kick this off by looking at the club face position. In today's video, we're going to actually go through 4 different parts of the swing that you can look at, self-diagnose, and hopefully from there fix that open club face position. And that very much is the issue here. The club face is coming down open. So let's start with the setup, and by far the biggest influence over your club face position is your grip. If you have your hands on the club incorrectly, you're going to see a lot of issues come out of it. Now, by far the biggest issue is the lead hand, the left hand in my situation, gets weak. Now, what does that mean? It means that it is rotated round towards the target side. So you can see the V here is pointing somewhere up to my left shoulder, left ear. And in this position here, I'm also gripping it very much in the palm. Now, here's the thing, I see so many people try and go about fixing the grip, and really, in my opinion, there are 2 major keys if you are trying to strengthen your grip that you must get right. The first one is understanding the relationship between the heel pad and the club. So in a great grip, we should be able to hold the golf club in our hand with our index finger and our heel pad just like that. If you can't and it drops out, it means you have a poor grip no matter what, because I do see some people, they rotate their hand over and have a fake strong grip. So what I mean by that is you can see the V is pointing all the way up to my right shoulder, but if I bring the club up here, I open out my hand, I'm still gripping it in the palm. So it's still a fake strong grip. So what you must be doing is you must, A, take the base of your fingers and place that on the side of the grip. So you can see it's on the side of the grip. It's not on the bottom, it's on the side of the grip. And B, as you wrap your hand over, you want that heel pad right on top of the grip so that you can hold the grip with your index finger and your heel pad. The second thing I see people get wrong is when they have a weak grip, you tend to find that their arm externally rotates. So if I hold my thumb up in front of me, turn it away from me, you can see that's externally rotated. Now, when they try and then strengthen their grip, they just try and turn their hand over, and they ultimately get into this position to where that arm still has a little bit of fold, very awkward position. So when you do try and strengthen your grip, hold your thumb up out in front of you, turn it inward slightly, and notice how your whole arm is internally rotating. So this is crucial as you're trying to strengthen your grip. Allow your whole arm to rotate inwards. You can see my elbow is now pointing a little bit more down towards the target. From there, it's going to be so much easier to A, get that left arm nice and straight at address, but B, get that grip in a good position. If you can do that, you're then going to be able to relax down, and you can see there's actually a slightly stronger club face position, and that is going to help us in the first part in terms of squaring that club face up. Now, just in terms of the right hand, again, all you're going to do is pretty much match it to the left. So you are going to just cover that left thumb with your right palm. Both V's want to be pointing in the same direction. Again, one thing I always see with amateurs is they get that right hand wrapped over. So just make sure that you're only just gently covering that left thumb and you have both V's matched up. That's going to put you in the best possible position to square that club face up. So now let's move on to the backswing. Why do I see players get the club face open in the backswing? Now, I'm going to presume by this point you've got a good grip. So the biggest issue I see is A, players roll their forearms to the inside, and B, they do not load their trail wrist correctly. Now, in a minute, I'm going to give you a drill that's going to fix all of these, but let me just show you what this looks like. So if you roll the club to the inside, you can see that is fanning the club face open. As well as this, if I never load my trail wrist, and loading the trail wrist is simply bringing the knuckles back to the forearm. If I never load my trail wrist, that's loading, and I just keep it relatively flat, again, you can see that's going to open up the club face. So in reality, we've got to do 2 things. A, we've got to control the forearms, and B, we've got to load the trail wrist. If we can do that, we are going to find that A, the club is going to set up on a really nice position, and B, we're going to be able to control that club face, making sure that then at the top, we have a good wrist condition position, a great club face position, and it's going to set you up for the downswing. So, easiest way to show you this is with a drill. Now, this is one of my all-time favorite drills. It's the table tennis bat drill. Now, just to demonstrate this, I'm going to put the club on the ground. I'm going to hold the table tennis like a golf club, and I've got the black side, which is my club face, pointing down towards the target. target. Now, in your backswing, if you are rolling the club to the inside or you are opening up that club face, the black side is going to point up to the sky. And at the top of the backswing, you can see the left wrist is very cupped. The black side of the pad is pointing towards my head right there. So you can see if I roll it early, which is not good, black side points up. If I point it at me, you can see it's pointing at my face. That means the club face is open. If I replicate those movements right here with it on the side, open club face, open club face. Not ideal at all. We do not want to see it. So instead, what we want to see, again, black side is the club face. We want to be feeling like as we take it back, we can keep it pointing down to the ground. And as we take it to the top of the backswing, we can get this pointing up towards the sky. Now, straight away, you're going to notice as I do this, it completely changes my wrist conditions. Lead wrist gets flat, trail wrist has loaded on itself. And from there, I'm in the best possible position to have a square to slightly closed club face position, which is going to help us fix this slice. So that's phase one, very much grip it like a golf club. Phase two, take that golf club back in your hand, good lead hand grip, and where your right hand's going to go, you're just going to hold the club up like that, and you can see table tennis bat is matching the club face. So, same checkpoints. Table tennis bat points down towards the ground, and then table tennis bat points up towards the sky. You can see there how it's really changing, the club face position, it's matching my spine angle there, and at the top of the backswing, it's pointing more up to the sky. There you can also see trail wrist is loading, trail wrist is loading. Awesome position. Once you've done that a couple of times, take your hands off, or drop the bat down, place your hands back on, recreate those same feelings, learn what it feels like to set the club in the back of the trail wrist and get that club face in a great position. So phase three is now working on the transition, the downswing, and trying to square that club face up. Now we are going to blend this together with part four, which is going to be the release. So let me do this all in one for you. So what I see so many golfers do is as they get to the top, they'll sort of spin their wrists to their right, so they'll open their wrist, their right hand for a right-handed golfer will get under the club, palm point to the sky, and then from there they'll sort of hold and pull through on the club. Now here's the thing, we have to understand how to rotate the forearms, how to move the wrists, everything correctly in the downswing. So what I want to do is just drop the club for a second and focus on the right palm. So if I set up to the golf ball like so, turn to the top, you can see my palm is pointing to the sky. Now you'll often hear players, golf coaches like Pete Cowan say, spin that shaft down, spin that forearm down. What are they talking about here is that they want to see that the palm can start to rotate and point down towards the ground. And then as you then continue through into your release, is that you can then feel like you're shaking hands with somebody there. So you can see palm rotates down to the ground, and then I can turn through and shake hands with somebody there. So it's as if I'm sort of twisting my forearm down like so, this way. This is what allows us to square that club face up, get it in the best possible position. Now, if I grab the table tennis bat just to show you this, again, let's grip it like a golf club, red side's pointing towards the target, which is the club face. We're gonna turn to the top, and if I was to open the face on the way down, hit that slice, we would see that it would point red side up to the sky, red side be pointing off to the right, red side would still be pointing up to the sky on the way through. We want to be feeling like as we go to the top, we can twist this so the red side points down to the ground, points square, and then points down to the ground on the way through. So you can see as I'm doing this, I'm learning what it feels like to start to twist that club face down into a good position, and then feel like I'm shaking hands with somebody all the way through to where my palm's pointing slightly down to the ground. Now, if I grip the club and do that same feeling and I go to the top, I can feel myself sort of putting a torque on the club this way with both of my hands in order to get that club face pointing more down to the ground, and then releasing it through and trying to shake hands with somebody there. Now, straight away, I'm going to get comments of players saying, oh, I'm a body release. Cool, you still release that club. There is not a player on this planet who does not release the golf club. Everybody is allowing that trail forearm to pass over. Some players more than others for sure, but everybody is still allowing that forearm to pass over. So from the top in terms of downswing, and then part four, the release, we're gonna blend it all together. Go to the top of the backswing, feel like you rotate the face down, so twist those forearms down, palm's gonna be pointing down to the ground, and then release it through to where you're shaking hands with somebody there. This is gonna help you actually hit more of a draw shape, a little bit like this. So that is how you can take control of your club face position in order to help you fix your slice. But let's turn our attention now to how do we control the path. Again, let's look through the setup, the backswing, the downswing, make it nice and simple for you. So setup contributions that can make us want to slice it more, get that path going excessively to the left. Well, the first one is we see the spine sort of tilt towards the target, the pelvis get back. Now often when you see that as well, you'll often see the trail arm get higher and the shoulders point to the left. For a right-handed golfer, this can create you obviously wanting to swing excessively left on it, and from there it's going to be very, very difficult for you to turn as well. So if you're that golfer that gets spine towards target, shoulders open, trail arm higher, what I want you to do is stand nice and tall for me and just hold this club out and just let it drop down to where it's sort of level with your belt buckle. Now from there, just bump your hips slightly closer towards the target so you feel like you've got a little bit more pressure in your lead foot, and then just drop your trail shoulder down slightly. Now from there, just bend forward. So what we can see here is sort of a mini reverse K position. So we've got the pelvis closer towards the target, a little bit more pressure in the lead foot, spine angle tilted slightly away. Now this is going to help you because you can see now it's got my shoulders nice and square from the downline view, and if I just have that little thought of just softening my trail arm in so that my lead forearm is slightly higher than my trail forearm, my shoulders have now squared off. So this is going to promote a much better club path, but also is going to aid me in terms of generating better rotation. So from there, we can now move into the backswing. Now the big key in the backswing is we must generate good depth. What do I mean by good depth? Well, if I go to the top of the backswing, quite often people that slice the golf ball will have their hands very high, bind of the grip will be somewhere over their shoelaces. The reason why this causes a slice is because the hands aren't deep enough as we start down. They're going to want to work out and in front of you, cut across the ball left, from there producing a slice. So once you're in that great setup position, the key is then getting into a good top of backswing position to where the hands are deep enough, aka the butt end of the grip is somewhere over the heel line. Now, what is the biggest factor that contributes to having good depth at the top of the backswing? Well, it's being able to rotate efficiently. So this is why having that good body angle as a dress is so important, because it's going to allow us to rotate and increase our depth in the backswing. So here's what I want you to do just to learn how to rotate. I want you to grab the club, stand nice and tall, and just turn as if it's your backswing right there. And I want you to pay attention to how your trail hip is working. What you will notice is it sort of works on an arc back and around. Now, once you've done that a couple times, keep that club up in front of you on your chest and still make that same motion and feel that trail hip arc back and around. As you do that, you'll start to notice that it's really, really easy for you to turn. And from there, if I now grab the club normally and I do that same motion, you can see how by simply working that right hip back and around, creating about a golf ball worth of space, this has increased my depth. Because the only real way we can increase depth is by increasing rotation. If I don't turn or I reverse pivot or something like that, and I pull my arms across my body this way, that's not a good way of generating depth. If anything, it's just going to cause more issues. Now, to help you train this good deep position at the top of the backswing, I need you to grab 2 alignment sticks. You're going to take that first alignment stick, place it through your belt loops like so, and to start with, have it 50-50 either side, and then from there, as you set up to the golf ball, you're going to take that second alignment stick and place it right on your heel line like so. So I'm set up here, I've got one through my belt loops, one on my heel line. Now the one through your belt loops is obviously showing you how much your hips are turning. Now here's the thing, if we want to increase our rotation, we need to increase the amount our hips turn. It's about a 2-to-1 ratio, so for every degree we turn our hips, we're going to get 2 degrees of shoulder turn as sort of a guideline, as a ballpark figure. So if I can turn this trail hip back and around and create that golf ball worth of space, you can see how I can get a huge amount of turn, and the bind of the grip can then get over the alignment stick right there. This is going to put me in a great position at the top when my hands are nice and deep. You can see the club wants to shallow out onto plane, and then as long as your club face is in a good position, you're going to be able to swing into out and get that club face slightly close to the path and hit that beautiful draw. So if I can just do a couple of rehearsal swings here, get that nice full turn to the top, good depth, feel that a couple times. Now when you're ready to hit the shot, push it all the way through so your trail arm can pass freely. I can still see how much of my hips are turning, and my reference guide is at the top. I want to feel the butt end of the grip over that alignment stick like so. Now as you can see, that produced a lovely little draw, and my only thoughts there were turn that trail hip back and around, generate that great depth, and from there everything was very much automatic on the way down. So once you've done that, you're going to be in a position at the top where you've got good depth. Now from there, the key is getting that club coming down on plane, and there's a crucial concept you must understand that I see a lot of golfers get wrong. They'll go to the top of their swing and then they'll go right, and in an effort to try and get open, they'll really rip their body open. But as a byproduct of that, what they end up doing is they end up swinging over the top. So we need to understand some factors that really play a crucial role in what path the club's going to take on the way down. So if I go to the top of the backswing and I was to freeze my body right here, what would we see happen? We would see the hands work straight down towards the trail foot. Why? Because the arms control the down portion of the downswing. What controls the out is the rotation. So the key thing that we have to do is we have to blend these two movements together. If we are manually trying to throw the arms at the ball, or we are trying to turn too much too early, we are going to throw that club over the top, and from there we're going to swing out to in, producing more of a slice shape. So if you are that golfer who spins your chest out too early, swings over the top, what I want you to feel like is as you get to the top of the backswing, your chest does nothing. So it stays back, pointing towards the camera, as you lower your arms down towards your trail foot. You can see in this situation here, gets the club on plane. Now I can swing more out to the right. Now a fantastic drill that's going to help you is the split hand pump drill. So grip the club normally with your left hand, hike it up, bring it in line with your toe line. Right hand's then going to point away from you like so, 2 90-degree angles. Keep those 90-degree angles as you turn back, and then feel like you pump it straight back down to this position. Now imagine I have sort of a fence line right in front of me here. If I was to swing over the top and I pump it, I'd hit that fence. So I want to be here, turn to the top, pump it down inside the fence line to the top, pump it down inside the fence line. Place 2 hands back on to the top, pump it down inside. Now I can feel like I swing a little bit more to the right. Again, that's going to promote more of that draw shape. So for me, I'm going to feel like even my chest stays back pointing towards the camera, or my back stays pointing towards the target for longer. My hands work down towards my trail foot, and then I can turn everything through. This is going to help me shift my path to the right, producing more of a draw shape. So there you have it. That is a detailed guide on how you can fix your slice. By fixing the club face, by fixing the club path, you're then going to be able to start to produce more neutral shot shapes or even a slight draw. Now, if you have questions about today's video, please drop them down in the comment section. I answer all of my questions and all of my comments. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and subscribe. And if you need more one-to-one help with your game, maybe you're struggling to fix your slice, I offer online coaching on the Skillist platform. Check out the link down below and you can book a lesson with myself no matter where you are in the world.